For years, the truth stayed hidden. The victims forgotten. The cases left cold, until science revealed what time could not. This is decades in the dark, where cold cases are brought back to light. August 20th, 1966. Niterói, Brazil. It's a humid Saturday afternoon, when a young boy, out flying his kite, notices something strange on the slopes of Morro do Vintém. Vintém Hill, two figures lying side by side, partly hidden by the tall grass. Curiosity turns to alarm when he realizes they're not moving. He runs home and tells the police. When officers arrive, they find a scene so strange, so utterly baffling, that even hardened detectives would remember it for the rest of their lives. The two bodies are adult men, lying neatly side by side, arms at their sides. They're wearing formal suits under lightweight raincoats, despite the warm weather. And over their eyes, thick homemade lead masks. Not helmets, not gas masks, just crudely cut metal eye shields. Heavy plates shaped to fit over the upper face, completely blocking vision. They weren't see-through, no holes, no slits. Put them on, and you'd be in total darkness. The edges are rough, the metal bent by hand, suggesting they were made at home. The kind of thing technicians might use to block radiation. But here, far from any lab, their purpose is harder to explain. Next to them lies an empty water bottle, two wet towels, and a plastic bag containing the receipt for the raincoats. There's also a small notebook. Inside, police find a cryptic message. 16:30, be at the determined place. 18:30, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals, await signal mask. The men are soon identified as Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana, both electronics technicians from Campos dos Goitacazes, about 170 miles away. They'd told their families they were going to buy supplies for work. They left home in a Volkswagen, arriving in Niterói on August 17th. Witnesses remember them purchasing the raincoats and a bottle of mineral water from a local shop. The shopkeeper said Miguel appeared nervous, checking his watch constantly. The most unsettling part of the note is the instruction to ingest capsules. Police found no capsules at the scene, but the men's autopsies would later reveal signs that could be consistent with poisoning or overdose, though decomposition and bureaucratic delays made toxicology inconclusive. Investigators believe the men may have taken the capsules voluntarily, but why? One theory emerges from friends and family. Manuel and Miguel were members of a local group of amateur scientists interested in electronics, radio transmission, and, according to some, contacting extraterrestrials. Members of this circle reportedly conducted experiments on Vintém Hill in the past, using equipment to measure or communicate with unknown forces. Some involved bright lights in the sky. The metal lead masks, possibly to protect against radiation or blinding light. On the afternoon of August 17th, they were last seen alive buying mineral water at a bar. The bartender recalls Miguel looking uneasy, perhaps from whatever plan they were about to carry out. After that, there's a gap in the timeline. The next confirmed sighting is, well, there isn't one. No one saw them climb Vintém Hill. No one saw them take the capsules. That week, Niterói had bursts of rain and thick humidity. The towels found near the bodies may have been for comfort during a long wait in the damp grass, or part of the experiment itself. Police considered whether they had been instructed to wait for a certain signal, maybe a light in the sky, and died while waiting. The 1960s in Brazil were a hotbed for UFO sightings. Some locals insisted they saw strange lights over the hill that night. A few went further, suggesting the men had arranged to meet entities, and that the capsules were part of a ritual or test. Of course, no physical evidence supported this, but the legend of the metal lead masks case quickly became part of UFO folklore. The metal lead masks themselves were crude but functional. Lead blocks certain kinds of radiation, which could be relevant if they were experimenting with high-voltage electronics or unknown energy sources. Yet police found no such equipment at the scene. If they had brought it, someone had taken it before authorities arrived. Other theories emerged. Accidental overdose during an experiment. Friends said the men's electronics club sometimes mixed science with mysticism, using chemicals or drugs to heighten perception during experiments. The capsules could have been intended to induce altered states, but an overdose may have killed them before they could continue. Poisoning by a third party. Someone could have given them the capsules under false pretenses, claiming they'd help their experiment, but intentionally laced them with poison. Motives could include silencing them, personal revenge, or sabotage within their group. Smuggling or covert activity gone wrong. Some think they were transporting illicit or radioactive materials. Protect metals might refer to shielding such items. The capsules could have been suicide pills given in case of capture, or poisoned pills disguised as protection. Religious or occult ritual. Some fringe spiritualist groups in Brazil at the time combined electronics, mysticism, and hallucinogens. The metal-lead masks could have been symbolic, blocking out earthly sight to receive visions, with the raincoats, towels, and water bottle fitting into ritual cleansing. Robbery or setup. A less popular theory suggests they were lured to the hill, poisoned, and intended to be robbed, but their valuables were untouched, suggesting the killer either fled before taking them or never wanted them at all. Without witnesses, the gaps in the timeline are impossible to fill. Did they climb the hill on the 17th and die that night? Or did they survive for days before succumbing to whatever was in those capsules? The note remains maddeningly cryptic. Protect metals could mean shielding equipment, or it could be symbolic. A weight signal mask is even harder to interpret. Nearly 60 years later, the metal-lead masks case remains unsolved. Over the decades, journalists, ufologists, and true crime researchers have tried to decode the mystery, but no definitive answer has emerged. In Brazil, it's still considered one of the country's most bizarre unexplained deaths. Two men, a hilltop, and a set of metal-lead masks, a notebook filled with cryptic instructions, and a mystery that has outlived everyone involved. Were they scientists, victims, or something stranger? And what signal were they waiting for? This is Decades in the Dark, where science brings the past to light. Subscribe for more stories where justice never expires.